For as long as humans have had consciousness, they have been making decisions about how to modify their bodies. But technology right now is advancing at such a pace that it could be that one generation to the next even may not recognize each other. That is a change that is unprecedented in human history, and one I feel like as a science fiction writer I need to document.
What brings you to Pittsburgh?
It's research for a book I'm writing.
Oh, cool.
Have you heard about the guys who, it's a group of guys who put microchips in their arms?
Microchips?
Yeah.
No, I never heard of that. But this used to be the steel capital of the world. Steel was everywhere. It fed everybody here. That's all gone now.
Don't tell me this is an implant.
Yeah. I implanted that in my arm here.
Whoa, for how long?
About 90 days.
Yeah.
And so it backlights my tattoo. There were a row of lights here.
Nice.
And then it would kick out my temperature over Bluetooth, and I could then chart my temperature throughout the day.
Do you have any implants now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I have a magnet implanted in my finger, so like if I go like that, it'll just like hop right off.
Whoa, that's
and,
crazy.
And I can actually feel electromagnetic fields, so I can feel like when certain devices are working, I can feel my hard drive kicking on in my computer.
So it's like a sixth sense.
It's absolutely a sixth sense. I mean, if you're that fascinated with it, I mean, anybody can get one if they want it. I mean, you could have one if you wanted it.
Really?
Yeah.
Steel was critical for our economy, and when it left, there was a major depression. They thought it was coming back, and it just never did.
What's interesting to me is how you are sort of taking the little bits and pieces of that industrial past and putting them under the skin. It feels like I'm in the ruins of a great civilization. So if industry in Pittsburgh has died out, then why are you based here?
Pittsburgh is now rising from the ashes of its industrial history, and you have a lot of blue-collar but progressive people who want to work hard but aren't afraid of technology. Put those two things together, and the next thing you know, it's a revolution. You ready to go?
All set.
All right.
So what are you working on next?
Well, it's kind of complicated to explain, so let me show you. So what the bottlenose does in a very simple way is it takes this extra sense and then allows you to communicate using that extra sense. Somebody with a phone spotting somebody's cards could inform me of what types of cards my opponent had using vibration on the magnetic spectrum, allowing me to make better choices and determine how to win best.
Oh, come on.
I think the future that we envision is one in which anybody can be anything they want and their biology doesn't govern them. I can't figure out how to function in the world without this desire to see what the next star over looks like. And I won't be able to unless I actually outlive this bullshit monkey that I've been packaged into. I'm trapped here, and I don't want to be. I'm looking for freedom.
I do wonder whether people who commit themselves to future visions are doing so because the alternative is unbearable. You could say that that kind of dedication is optimistic, or you could say it's a survival mechanism. Like, that is the only way that they can survive this life, is to dedicate themselves to bettering it.
I was very ill. I was pregnant, and my pregnancy was unsuccessful. The unborn died, and I almost died as well. And what I realized from that tragic experience was that the body is so vulnerable. What would it be like if I had a body that was more durable, more sustainable, longer lasting, could repair itself, could alert me that something's going on, something's wrong with my body? And that was the inception of this idea. This is a diagram of a basic outline for the evolution of the human biology into a whole body prosthetic. This whole area here would be the metabrain, and this would allow the neocortex and frontal lobe to send information to the cloud up in space. The synthetic skin is a type of mesh system of nanocells, so this would always be changing.
So how far away are we from this full body prosthetic?
Not as far as you might think.
"26 joints controlled by 17 different motors, and it's all self-contained. So we can take that off and we can put it on an amputee, and it's the exact same arm."
What makes this prosthetic arm the most advanced version of this technology?
So 3 things. Number 1 is the dexterity, ability to move each finger. Number 2 is the form factor. Okay, so it's the same size as a 50th percentile male. And the third thing is the strength. Okay, so it can curl 45 pounds, which we always joke that most of the people working on it can't do that.
Will there be a point where a prosthetic arm is preferable to the one that we're born with?
We're not quite there yet. It's still a little bit, heavy and, makes noise and so forth. But it's close. And I think, what it shows us is there's a trajectory that we really, get to, robotic systems that really are seamless with what we have now. And maybe at some point better.
You sure you're ready to do this?
I mean, I write about the future all the time, right? And I feel like in the last few days, I've actually seen the first steps of what it's going to look like, and I want to join the conversation in this way.
All right.
If you guys are ready, we'll proceed forward. So essentially, to go over the procedure, what we're going to do is I will position your hand like such. We will have these out of the way. I will make an incision with a number 15 scalpel into the finger. Sweetheart, are you ready? And give me a nice deep breath.
Excellent. The hard part's over.
How are you feeling?
Okay, here comes the magnet. Hey, you're a cyborg now.
Being able to sense magnetic fields is arguably a sixth human sense. It may well indicate there are much more profound changes still to come. And I can't help wondering whether I am going to be a part of it.